Hello, welcome to Battle of the Ports and a Resident Evil game that didn't start on a PlayStation console. This is Resident Evil Code Veronica. Code Veronica first came to the Dreamcast in Japan on February 3rd, 2000. Code Veronica actually started life as a Saturn project after producer Shinji Mikami and his team learned that they would be unable to port Resident Evil 2 to the Sega Saturn. They began development on an original game, which became Code Veronica. Claire was designed with a tougher appearance than in Resident Evil 2, with the reason being her past experiences in Raccoon City built her toughness and confidence. The game follows Claire Redfield and her brother Chris Redfield in their efforts to survive a viral outbreak at a remote prison island in the Southern Ocean and a research facility in Antarctica. The game retains the series' traditional controls and gameplay. However, unlike the pre-rendered backgrounds of previous installments, Code Veronica uses real-time 3D environments and dynamic camera movements and lighting. This version of Code Veronica we are looking at on the Dreamcast is the Japan-only second release, known as Code Veronica Kanzenban. This is the extended cut of the game, featuring approximately 10 minutes of new cinematic sequences that reveal more about Wesker's involvement with Umbrella. While the core game remains unchanged, several graphical alterations were also made, most noticeably in the character model for Steve Burnside, who was given a different hairstyle. This version of the game is what was ported to other systems and known as Code Veronica X in the West. Back in the day, Code Veronica was groundbreaking. It really felt that the Resident Evil series had moved on, even if the game still did feature tank controls. These days, however, compared to modern Resident Evil games, it doesn't stack up too well. Sure, it's still a good game, but the awkwardness of the controls and running backwards and forwards more than you would do in a modern game does become a little tedious. Still, if you've never played Code Veronica, I do recommend going through it at least once.
Sorry about that little misunderstanding, but I thought you were another one of those monsters.
The first port of the game was to the PlayStation 2 on March 22nd, 2001, and for the most part it looks like the Dreamcast version, but with one major negative point that actually affects a lot of PlayStation 2 games, and that is that the game runs in interlaced mode. The Dreamcast version runs in progressive scan. As a result, you'll notice some slight ghosting on the image which wasn't on the Dreamcast original. This is most noticeable during cutscenes. The Dreamcast version also uses anti-aliasing, something the PlayStation 2 doesn't, so there are more rough edges here and there, but then again the interlacing kinda hides that. Finally, the PlayStation 2 version also takes longer to load, which can get annoying at times. I should also point out that there are a few changes from the title screen as well, such as the battle mode not being unlocked from the beginning, nor any difficulty options. Without a doubt, the PlayStation 2 version of Code Veronica is inferior to the Dreamcast original.
Please deposit any metallic items you have in the security box.
Next up was the GameCube version that was released in Japan on August 7th, 2003. The GameCube version is almost exactly like the Dreamcast version in terms of visuals, as it runs in progressive scan and the loading is on par with the Dreamcast. There are some points carried over from the PlayStation 2 though, such as not having battle modes and the infinite rocket launcher in very easy modes unlocked from the beginning. Besides that, the GameCube version is a very good port of the game that is recommended. high-definition remastered version of Code Veronica was released in September 2011 for the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. We are looking at the Xbox 360 version here. This is the most dramatically changed port of Code Veronica. The game now features widescreen high-resolution graphics, but still basically uses all the same texture assets of the Dreamcast original, which it's based upon. The game's engine has been converted to run on Capcom's modern multi-platform engine, MT Framework. The extra processing power of the Xbox 360 allows the game to have vastly improved dynamic lighting and further draw distances. On all other versions, the stages are coloured black to avoid pop-in. For example, when at the top of the stairs here, you can see right into the distance, whereas all the other versions, it's just black. Sadly, not everything is a positive improvement. The new lighting can make some areas of the game look darker or lighter than they should be. Also, distant items are quite fuzzy or out of focus. You can especially notice this when Jill walks in from the background towards the camera. Would I consider this the ultimate port? Personally, probably not, even though I do like the new widescreen image. In all honesty, I'd probably opt for the Dreamcast original or GameCube version as a second choice. And let's take a look at all those versions of Biohazard Code Veronica or Resident Evil Code Veronica running side by side.
I've got to contact Leon and tell him to let my brother know he's being monitored. It's a good thing I have access to an outside connection from here.
Well, that file shows the latitude and longitude of this place. Why don't you send your brother the coordinates and ask him to come help?
Thanks, I'll do that.
Hey, I was just kidding. There's no way he could get here, even if he is your brother.
Yes, he can, I'm sure of it.